Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, not going to spend a lot of time on this one. The stock market meltdown has begun. Maybe. So today, a lot of things have a lot of things and one thing has happened all at once. First and foremost, I've been talking about this, I think, kind of on YouTube, more in my group, and that's never like a sales pitch when I say that. It's just that I talk to my group. You know, I'm in the chat all day, and then we stream every night. But we're seeing these red candles, the bright red candles, not these red candles, the bigger ones. And I was saying it kind of looks like, if you can imagine, J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, somebody just market selling just giant chunks. And other people, they're just not getting the memo that somebody big is getting out. And I was like, but it's hard to go short this market or talk about it when you have a trend like this. And I got to say, this market, it looks eerie. I mean, like, the way it's pushing up, how systematic, how just clean, and I've said this before, both on YouTube and in my group quite a bit, is that they're just putting everybody to sleep. They're gonna catch you off guard. It's gonna be just abrupt. So anyway, it made things look weird, made things look a little awkward. But you can't have that gambler's fallacy where you go to the roulette wheel and see, hey, it's landed on black the last 6 times. Let me put my money on red. That's not a strategy. Right? That's just silly. And if you do that in the stock market, probably not going to be here next year. Lastly, we were talking about this kind of range right here. We don't need to get on the daily. So we had this leg down right here, this straight leg down, and we've kind of just went inside of it. And then overnight last night, I guess early this morning, we'd pushed up above, hit this zone. And first of all, we hit that zone, we bounced, normal, just another day in the market. Things just go up for no reason. Or I guess no reason, they just go up, and then just full send down. I know Kashkari said inflation is going up. We might not cut rates at all this year. And then maybe that's what caused the panic. Who knows? Who cares why? The panic was here. It really is more like, how did you manage it? Did you switch gears and go short? For a while there, I thought we were just rocking a zone-to-zone day. Things look good, and I almost bought the dip. But we only held out at that zone just for a little bit, and then we broke down, just continuing the trend down. Now, at the end of the day, I did buy the dip because there's quite a few scenarios. Now, that's a big red day, but we are still oversold, market meltdown or not. Now, yes, we could just beat the brakes off this thing and just full send. I don't think we're there. I actually do think we bounce, and if there is a lower high, look out. Now, in this trend up, higher highs, higher lows, right? We broke them. All right, now we started making your first lower high here, made that lower low depending on how you want to look at it. Looking at the daily, though, it's a tough one because how crazy this trend is up, but you might just take a peek right here. This is going to be your last, I'd say your last significant. Let's go to the daily. This is going to be your last just significant level right here that we kind of held, and we've bounced back and forth. I don't know why we don't have that zoned out anyway, but let's put that up there. All right, so let's make that just a tad bit brighter. Bounce, lower high, I don't think this zone holds. Now, can we hold right here? Sure. And how many times have you seen the market? If you've been in the market for any amount of time, you've seen volatility boxes like this. I mean, they're some of the most impressive times to trade as well because you just get sucked in, and then we stay in this range for a while. It's just straight up and then straight down again, and then eventually you do get a breakout, and so far, historically, they've broken up. But so we could do that. We could bounce, make a lower high. We could bounce all the way up and make a volatility box. Could just be sideways for a bit. We've seen this before. So this isn't anything new. Breaking that, I think we did break our last higher low. Some might call this the higher low there that broke, maybe. I'd at least give it that. Breaking that, now we're officially talking a trend down. All we did right now is we quit going up. Now we quit going up in a kind of a significant way. The way we sold off, again, it's not just these zones, but it's also how we get there in the first place. And that should be a warning shot. So I would keep an eye on that. Here's another little box we got into for a little bit, kind of like right in there. We've seen some much longer. Where was the here's another one where we just got real weird. Let's start. Maybe we can just not zone them out. Let's make them pink. Let's go 4. Okay, so the S&P characteristically has done this. Where was the last big one? We kind of thought we were right there. There was a significant one that, man, it was right here. I say we even had lows based off of that. I think we could, let me just zoom that back up to how we are right now. We could very easily just be doing this. And then I know there's a ton of YouTubers that are talking about the market crashing. Again, a pullback, 1 to 9%, a correction, 10 to 19, and then a crash is 20% or more. And along with these YouTubers, not to talk bad, they just don't know the definitions. They don't really know much about the market in general. Today, they probably gave you a reason why. There was an excuse why, and then they told you so. More of it was that they were coincidentally right, and that because the market was just up, they thought it had to come back down because it was due. And you got to be careful. If the person you're watching says a lot of stuff like that, and even I've said stuff like that, but you really have to dig into the context. And the reason why I even warned you about maybe like another YouTuber like that is because what are they saying? Is it absolutely complete junk? Because it's times like this when you really need to pick out who you're watching. It's not hard to find a guru that made money when we're just going up like this. Also, how many of your gurus are now crypto gurus because Bitcoin's up? Start watching out for things like this because when the volatility picks up, that is what will make or break depending on who you're following. If they play this wrong or your risk isn't managed, you don't know what you're getting into, I can tell you right now, dial it back. Allocation-wise, at least your mistake will be small, right? It won't be life-changing. But that being said, let's just go over the NASDAQ real quick. Again, full force. Let's just call it this. Let's make that a bright blue. I want it to be broken up a little bit, but that's a full-blown yellow zone. We break that. I think it does go for it. I think a buy the dip scenario for me, rain or shine. If the NASDAQ gets down here, I'm buying leaps. I'm buying a lot of futures contracts. What's that put us at? Let's go from the absolute peak because that's what they'll be talking about. That puts you right at a correction. Maybe a pullback just shy of a correction. Rain or shine event for the NASDAQ. Or for the S&P. I'd take a crack at it at this zone. It'd be hard not to. My group already knows this. Right before the bell, I did buy some at-the-money call options that expire tomorrow just for that pop-up play. I wanted something cheap in case we are in a full-blown meltdown. That's my only play there. As far as a rain or shine event, this grind up really sucks. As far as me buying leaps and futures contracts, definitely inside this area right here. If not the top of it, this is going to be a hang-up spot without full-blown like Rona panic again. I don't see that. It's the chances are not zero, so you have to talk about it. But I bet we come through here, bounce around. We could bounce lower. That could just be a jack around spot, and then we break it up higher. Time will ultimately have to tell on that one. And I do mean time, because if we hit that level and stick around for a while, we could be all just bearish in every reason under the sun. The reasons might not go anywhere, but if we stay sideways long enough, we will turn that ship around. That fear just subsides, and people start to just get confident. They have to put their money somewhere, and as they just dabble into a little bit more, it'll turn that thing back around. So we get into panic mode. I'm buying down here. Let's go from the peak again. That puts us also right there, 9. Just again, pullback territory correction. It'll be a correction. Let's just call it that. Wouldn't find anybody over that. 6. That first one puts you at like 4 to 6% down. I would say that's mild. The amount of thumbnails you're going to see to get from where we are now to here is going to be outrageous. And I'd say that is a mild pullback at all. I mean, that's just going to be an easy one. So anyway, I'm going to wrap here. I wanted to keep it short, sweet, because I know emotions might just be starting to flare up. Don't make any knee-jerk reactions. Guys, just make sure you have a plan and then stick to the plan. If you have a plan, it keeps the emotions out of it, And then that's that, like there's just nothing to worry about because you already thought of every scenario before you got into it. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Do all the cool things, thumbs up, subscribe, all that, and I will see you guys in the next video.